What's going on? It's your boy Mixmaster B here live from the MMB Radio Studios for the MMB Radio Podcast, where no topic is too big or too small. We talk about them all. And on this episode of the podcast, I have a woman who you can see next week in Philadelphia at Cheerleaders Philadelphia for their Naughty Nighty 30th anniversary celebration. We're going to get all the deets about that. She's a 15-time AVN winner. Stop and think about that for a second. 15-time. It's craziness. She's one of the hottest women, not just in this world, in this universe, anything beyond that. It hasn't been discovered yet. We're going to welcome her in right now, Ms. Blake Blossom. Blake, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thank you for that introduction. That was so kind. Oh my goodness.
Well, again, we mentioned you're going to be visiting the Philadelphia area, and we're located in the Philadelphia area. So everybody here is stoked and just fucking geeking out right now because you're going to be coming to Philadelphia to Cheerleaders. And this is the first time you've ever been in Philadelphia. Have you visited Philadelphia before?
I have never been to Philadelphia before, and this is only my second time ever feature dancing. So I'm still pretty new, but I'm a big fan of the Cheerleaders Club. So I started over at the Pittsburgh one. Now I'm over at the Philly one. So I'm really, really excited to meet all the house girls and the team over there as well.
Yeah, it's popping that Philadelphia Cheerleaders, getting it going and, popping that cherry. First time in Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia,
Yes.
as I can speak from someone who is from the area, I mean, we get a little bit of a bad rep sometimes of different things, but I can tell you we are a very loving but blunt, honest crowd of people. But you're going to enjoy your
Okay.
time here. Have you been studying up on what to expect from Philly?
No, I want to go into it with a completely open mind. I don't want to be biased either way, So yeah, I guess we'll just see. I did have a friend reach out and say, hey, if you need extra security, let me know. And I was like, why? I was like, what's going on in Philly? And they're like, oh, everything.
It's a good time. Believe me, you are being safe hands. Fans are excited to see you there. Dress warmly. And you got to do the different
I
little
know,
sightseeing
right?
along the
I
way
have
here.
no snow clothes. I grew up in Arizona, so I have no snow clothes. I have one pair of UGG boots that are going to get destroyed by the salt on the road, which I discovered you guys do.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we don't need it out in Arizona, but out here, we're coming off of just having a major blizzard in the area, and I think we were shut down for a day. You know what I mean? It was light work. We got it. We got everything going up and running again.
I love that. But yeah, I'm really excited to see the city. It'll be a quick trip for me this time, so I'm not sure exactly what I'll do on my free time, but yeah, I don't really know what to expect. I know there's a lot of history, so
There
might have to
is.
go hit up a museum or two and try and speed through as fast as I can, but
I mean,
who
you got
knows,
to
I
do
might
the
be tired.
touristy stuff, that everybody wants to do, like the Liberty Bell and get a cheesesteak, you know what I mean? They got vegan ones if you're vegan. People out there are like, I don't
Right,
do
right.
cheesesteaks, but there's vegan cheesesteaks. And again, you'll be at Cheerleaders in Philadelphia, and that's March 6th and 7th. So you'll be there for the 2 days. And you said this is only your second time feature dancing?
Yes, I know. I'm a little bit of a novice at pole dancing and I'm because everything I do is usually, in front of the camera or even behind it. So this has been such a fun experience for me, and I had a bunch of people say, we're driving 2 hours to come see you from everywhere on the East Coast. So I didn't realize how many fans I had out there. So I'm really excited that, feature dancing around the United States will definitely give more opportunities for people to meet me in person, get autographs, and buy some of my merch. And I mean, I have a 7 toy collection with Fleshlight now, so some people show up with the whole collection, and I'm like, okay, guys,
Yeah. And we're definitely
sorry,
going to have to talk
line.
about that.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, everyone in line. I'm gonna need to do 15 minutes to sign all this stuff. 1 second, and everybody's like, oh, what does he have that I don't? And then they're comparing photos, and it's such a good time when my fans get together. So I am ecstatic.
And I love the humbleness. And you're saying I didn't realize I had that many fans. I mean, we're looking just on X alone, 700,000 fans just on there.
Yeah,
Fifteen
but you know
five.
how social media is. There's like half
Yeah.
of those are probably bots. So
All right. So, all right. So 600,000. If we just knock, like 100,000 off that, you know what I mean? Like it's still,
yes,
you are
people
killing
brave
it.
enough to follow. Yes, brave enough to
Yes.
follow and engage, but there's a lot of burner accounts and they have such creative names. So at least people are consistent so I can follow them from platform to platform. Like I have one guy, his name is Dr. Goo. Such a great guy, but he follows me from all my different platforms with his same name. So I recommend doing that. If you guys are, chatting up with people, use the same username so that we can remember you better.
Yes. And then as I mentioned too, a 15-time AVN award winner. What is that like to like for most people, they just want to be nominated or just, to hang out with their peers at this show. But winning it 15 times, have you actually taken a step back and kind of like let that sink in, like how many of these awards you just got like laying around the house?
Oh, I mean, I have them right in the middle of my house. I have this gorgeous, like, birdcage-esque bookshelf thing that I got from Z Gallery, like, probably 5 or 6 years ago. But it's right in the middle of our house, and my partner is also in the industry, so his trophies are up there as well. But yeah, no, it's very humbling, I think, to look at them and just think, okay, this is just like an object in my house. But for me, it symbolizes so much more because when I first, I was only 20 years old when I first made my OnlyFans account. And it took about a month, 6 weeks for me to kind of really do a deep dive into the adult industry because, you hear OnlyFans and it's like a joke and like, oh, yeah, we're selling fans over here, like
Yeah.
all the jokes with it. So nobody really understood, at least among my friends, like the power that OnlyFans really had at that moment. And so once I started doing all this research, I was like, oh, wow. And YouTube, became my best friend. And I was watching Christy Mack and Riley Reid and their fun YouTube videos. And, Christy's going and getting a tattoo on the side of her head. And I'm like, damn, like these girls are badass. Like that could be me. I could totally do that and, take a camera with me and go hang out with my friends and film or whatever. So I took a really good look at the industry and what I wanted from it. And the guy who was my first agent, he told me about AVN. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought it was just online. Like I didn't know there was an awards show. And once I found that out, it kind of shifted the entire, I guess, idea of what the industry could be for me. And I saw it as, well, damn, if I'm going to put myself on the internet like this, be full nude, be out there, just be myself and take on all these different crazy characters and roles, I'm really not going to have other opportunities available for me. So if I do take this step and decide to go and be a porn star, I have to really think about all the consequences of that, good and bad. And for me, I needed something that was a point of validation, and that became the AVN Awards. So I realized, like, dang, I can really kind of plan what I want to submit and then go back and kind of suggest different scenes or different pairings with people that I knew were prior winners or were really big at the time or really amazing performers that I had great chemistry with. So it became like a total chess game for me within like the first year. Because, everybody kind of has that 3-month period in the beginning where you're like, oh my God, what did I just sign up for? So for me, the trophies really represent that I did something and I have something in my hand that represents that. Because for me, I couldn't really measure my success on money or followers. So these trophies are a nice reminder of that.
Yeah.
Sorry
And
that
we're,
was so long-winded.
No, that was great. That was wonderful. Again, I mean, we're listening to you give this answer, and it's just like you stop, and as you're answering, I'm going, that's why she's successful. Like you actually like plan this stuff out. There's a lot of horror stories where people just don't even plan out what the hell they want to do with this business, or just in life in general, not even adult business, but like people don't really stop and think about what they want to get out of life and what they want to accomplish. So
Yeah, and that's totally okay, because the great part about that is you can become so self-aware and be like, whoa, I don't really like where my life is at right now. What do I really want right now? Like, let me take a step back and see what I can do to really change my life. And on like my phone, I have this on my screensaver, but it was like, you're doing this to make your life better. Make it count. And for me, this wasn't like, I try to explain to people how it is in the industry, because you see someone like me that has had so much, success per se, and a lot of work and whatever, but I was never in survival mode. This was always sport mode for me. And I try to explain to people that have never been in this situation where, you are really selling yourself, like you're using your body, and the way you have sex and the way you act, that's your currency. And for a lot of, women and men, and unfortunately a lot of trans people get into the industry because they're struggling for money. And this seems like the quick fix. Like, yeah, we're going to get money. And, certain people want certain surgeries done, or they want to get, gender confirmation. And so that desire is so strong that they will do anything for money. And that's where you get the really sad group of people who are predators, and they take advantage of those people. And the people who live in survival mode when they're in the industry, that is the dangerous point, is because you don't know if you're going to be able to pay your rent. You don't know if you're going to be able to buy your kids backpacks and school supplies. You don't know if you're going to be able to pay your kids college tuition next year. Say somebody just got divorced or they became a widow. Like, people join the industry for so many reasons. Even getting out of being incarcerated, there's a lot of people that join the industry because there are no other options. So when you look at people online and you look at these rosters, you're like, dang, look at all these baddies. Yeah, everybody's looking hot. But then you have to think of like, wow, this might be someone's mom, this is someone's sister, this is someone's family member, and they're doing everything possible to work hard to gain your subscription, to gain your follow, to gain, that correspondence with you, that you are going to become a fan of them. So luckily I haven't had to be in any of that survival mode, but being so close to so many people that have and are currently in that situation, it gives me a lot of empathy, because I'm like, oh, I know so-and-so, she's working her fucking ass off, but for some reason she's not getting a lot of work. So, hey, let's do a collab. I want to like promo you. And I think that's one of the great things about trying to be a role model in the industry, is that my page is always very positive, and like, we don't really put down anyone for anything. Like, of course we have, the moral gray area of porn, but everyone that I work with are just phenomenally good people, and I want to do everything I can to push, some of that marketing towards them as well, and introduce my fans to them, because at the end of the day, when everyone succeeds, then we're not at each other's throats trying to get work, because it gets rough, man. It gets really rough, especially when you are friends with 5 or 6 girls and you're all up for the same role and you're all up for the same award. And you just have to be like, you know what? If they pick her, they pick her. And I hope everything works out for her, because when she wins, I win.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the survival mode and the sport mode it's a really important concept for the fans to understand. And I think a lot of people are in that point in their life right now too, where it's a crazy, crazy time to be alive and watch the news and everything that's happening. And for us in the industry to be that point of escape, and people are really looking for relief from all this stress, and they're like, I can't even watch the news right now. Like, and I think that's why there's been such a huge boom in the industry in the last 6 years. And I mean, COVID totally kicked it off for me. My OnlyFans blew up, and then I started doing pro. And by, Christmas, that first year I started, I was having people ask me, how did you do this? And I'm like, guys, I really don't know. But I think a combination of not having any tattoos, having a natural chest, um, and probably the blonde hair, blue eyes is great. But I think it's also the way that I've maintained a really, really, really strict brand image. And I always want people to think, dang, like Blake's just out here having fun. She's not out here like looking desperate for money, or she's not like begging for cash. Like she's purely doing this for the love of the sport and the art of it. And I've really learned that as I've gotten older.
Now we're talking to Blake Blossom. You can catch her at Cheerleaders in Philadelphia, March 6th and 7th for their Naughty Nighty 30th anniversary celebration. They're going to have an open bar from 7 to 8. We're going to have a champagne toast, and we're kicking it back to the 1996. I mean, you think about it, how long ago that was. 30 years. I was like, geez, I'm starting to feel old. You can get details at cheerleadersphiladelphia.com. And you mentioned about, how you're humble and the fans. And we mentioned that you were going to be on the show. Fans just flocked us with questions. And I mean, it's just overwhelming about all the fans that have just been following your journey from the beginning. And we're going to try to get some of these questions out of the way here. So one of the questions someone wanted to know, and you probably have answered this a million times, they want to know, what was your favorite scene to shoot? Or I kind of want to change the question a little bit and say, if it's not your favorite scene, what is something that just instantly stands out where you're like, this was just an amazing scene and just everything just felt right?
Well, I mean, I think I've become really good at my comfortable zone, and that's doing like one-on-one scenes. So anytime I add on more people to the situation, for some reason, it has been a mental block for me. And so these certain scenes where I've been able to, really dig deep into working through these issues on like, why am I so nervous? Like, why am I having anxiety right now? So the scenes that I feel are my favorite were probably, I mean, hands down, the scene I did last summer for Brazzers. It was my first ever blow bang and my first ever like glory hole situation. And I always thought it was just like too much for me. It was too aggressive. It was just not something that I wanted to put out there. But I really thought about it and I said, I think because I don't want to do it, I should do it. And so Brazzers and I came up with this hilarious concept called Guess That Cock, where I'm a game show host, and part of me, I need that comedic relief to like ease the nerves. So it was really fun, but I basically go down the line to each of the 5 contestants and try to see if I can guess who it belongs to, because I'm such a slut in the industry and I just know them right off the bat. So that was super fun. And it actually ended up winning an AVN this year for Best Blow Bang. So I was really proud of that.
And another fan wanted to know, is just kind of piggybacking off that answer. What is something that you want to shoot? Is there something that you want to accomplish, whether it be, a scene with somebody or just like a concept? What is something that you want to do?
Well, I've actually been studying in BDSM and more specifically the dominatrix side. So I think I've wanted to become really strong as a dominatrix because I'm a little scared of being a sub and being tied up. So I would really like to have a scene where it would be maybe on like kink.com on like hogtied or something a little extreme, but really giving into the sensory deprivation and just like letting go, because I'm so rigid and strict. Oh my gosh! So I think it'd be fun to just like let loose into ropes.
Is there anything that like you are totally against on doing?
I'm not really a big fan on any of like the faux incest or the step family, some familial drama stuff. It was just something that I figured out within like the first 6 months of this industry that I was like, yeah, I don't really like this character. It doesn't make me feel good. So I'm happy that people enjoy the scenes that are out there, where I was that character, but I really don't think I'll ever ever do any stepsister or stepdaughter, any family stuff like that. So sorry if you're a fan of that. Not kink shaming you, just I'm not into it.
Not yeah, and then one of the fans wanted to know was that since they're going to be able to see you at cheerleaders and do that like interactions with fans and everything, you've done different conventions. How often do you get noticed out in public? Do people actually notice you out in public and
Oh,
like you
never.
had fans? No, never. No one notices who
No,
you
like
are.
no. No, but that's the thing is like I really wear like pajamas and I mean like little matching pajama sets, but like pants and long shirts and pajama dresses. I wear slippers all the time. Everybody always laughs at me for my Amazon slippers. They're like little fluffy slippers, but for me it's like I have to always wear these crazy lingerie or latex or ridiculous outfits for such crazy time amounts and poses on the stairs. So I try to be as comfortable as possible. I really don't wear a lot of makeup unless I'm filming something. Like I don't put on a daily face of makeup. But I think that's part of the reason why I like being Blake Blossom so much is because I can kind of Barbie it up and get all glam, and then I can be my normal self at home in my
You de-
sweatpants.
yeah, and you definitely have like the girl next door look and everything. And you mentioned about all natural, but is there anything that you ever thought about wanting to change about yourself, whether it be getting a
Oh, I want
tat
to be
or
taller.
you
Oh
want to
my
be
gosh.
taller?
Yeah, I want to tower over these men and women.
Now, do you like that dominatrix, like being in control, or
I
is
think
it?
it would be I think it would be super fun to be like 5'10". I'm 5'7", so it's not that much of a difference, but just a little bit taller. Um it's such a weird thing to want, I know. But
And there's guys out there that wish that they had a little bit of more length in other areas. So I mean, it's natural.
hey, if you've seen that movie, The Materialist with Dakota Johnson, sorry, spoiler alert. Okay, if you haven't seen the movie, don't listen, turn this off, pause it, skip ahead. But Pedro Pascal, his character and his brother, they do a surgery to like break their legs so they get like I think 3 or 4 inches of height. So it's possible, but
Well,
I
don't
won't
you
go
do
through
anything crazy like
that.
that. We don't need you on the stage like in a wheelchair spinning around, although
Oh
that would
my
be kind of cool
gosh.
to see. But
Right, like,
yeah.
yep, Blake's growing her legs again. She just can't get tall enough. She can't stop.
And again, we're talking to Blake Blossom. You see her at Cheerleaders in Philadelphia next week, March 6th and 7th. Details at cheerleadersphiladelphia.com. Another fan wanted to know you hosted AVN. So
Yes.
you clearly, how comfortable are you in front of a crowd speaking?
Well, I mean, the thing about AVN is like everybody in the crowd I know.
Okay.
I've never been contracted with a company. I've never had any like exclusive deals or anything like that out of my Fleshlight deal. But that's with our pleasure products. So as far as like production companies, when I look out there, I pretty much know everyone. And within the last 2 years, I've been going to Europe for the XBiz Amsterdam convention. So I've gotten to know a lot of the European companies as well. So it wasn't as intimidating as I really thought. I was more so just worried about because I didn't write any of that. And if I was able to write it, I think I would have put a little more snappy jokes in there. But that's the job of the comedian host is to be
Mhm.
the inflammatory person, but slight inflammatory person, I should say. But no, it wasn't hard just reading off a teleprompter. I'm looking down. I know everybody in the front row is like Riley Reid, Angela White, the main people who are, industry leaders up in the front row. You have Vanna Bardot, Anna Claire Clouds, Jennifer White. They were all in the front row. So I'm like, hey, friends, just talking to them. My boyfriend was in the front. So, yeah, and it's such bright lights out there, too. But I was a competitive dancer for 15 years growing up. So big stage lights, being on the stage doesn't really intimidate
Yeah, I
me.
was going to
And
ask, were you always like an outgoing, ambitious
oh
type
yeah, I
of
was always
girl growing up?
crazy. Oh my God, I was like dancing in the grocery store aisle singing, I kissed a girl and I liked it. And I'm like, my mom is like, what are you singing? Oh my gosh, when that first came out. So I've always been super crazy, such a really outgoing kid. I have a lot of empathy for other people. So I am outspoken about certain things, and I understand like my place in the industry. And I try not to like encourage debates. I think that there's other people in the industry that are much more educated and have done more research than I have on certain issues. So I choose not to speak about it just because I don't know. But that's what's so great about these like big award shows is certain people, they win and they're advocates for certain things. So my friend Derek Cage, he went up, and when he won Male Performer of the Year, or is it Gay Male Performer of the Year, or Male Actor? I don't know, one of the big ones.
He won
But
an award, so
yeah,
he's doing
but
something right.
yeah, I just love that at these award shows when somebody does win and they go up and they want to speak on a topic that they feel very strongly on. Like, there's some people who might not clap, but there's no booing. So that's what's really great about our industry and award shows like that. Like, even if I did fuck up or, someone else said something crazy, we kind of just all know that this is just part of the industry.
Part of the world we live in.
Yeah, but everyone liked it. So I was like, as long as you guys thought I looked cute up there, that's all I care about.
And I doubt anybody didn't think you looked cute up there, because some of these
everybody
questions.
was like, you look great. Oh my God. And I was like, okay, yeah, nobody cared what I had to say.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah. No, I think they
Which
did.
is fine. They weren't my words, so.
Yeah. Well, it's great when I fielded questions from people and said, send in your questions. And some people just didn't even have questions. They were just like, please tell her that she's fucking hot. And I'm like, I'm sure we'll get that out of the way within the first 10 seconds of the podcast. But you mentioned about people using the platform to talk about different things. Is there anything that you are passionate about, whether it be in the industry or just in general, that, you take a real, passion or liking to, that if you became like an advocate for something like that?
I think the biggest thing I would be an advocate for would be like a positive sexual like outlook for people, and that like sex shouldn't be something that's scary or something that is like intimidating. I think everyone should have the opportunity to engage in a healthy and responsible, manner. And I'm thinking of all the people in like the kink and BDSM world, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this doesn't apply to you guys. But yeah, I think I just want people to understand that porn isn't necessarily evil. It's more so about the behavior and how often you're using it or you're abusing it, having a good relationship with balancing in-person and online relationships. And that's also one thing that I had no idea about when I first got into the industry. People kept saying the word like incel. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like Intel, like the company? And they're like, no.
Like a microchips.
Right. So I find it interesting that I have a lot of people who claim to be this, but I feel like I would change that. I'd be like, I'll fuck you, like what? I don't know. That whole concept has gotten, I've been reading up on it a little more lately, and just yesterday I had someone be like, yeah, I could never get you. And I'm like, why do you think that? I bet if we went on a date, I could probably like give you a blowjob right here. Like, why do you think it wouldn't happen? like what? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just so desensitized that I do all these crazy scripts. But yeah,
but you know what it is.
The main answer to your question is I just wish that people were a little bit more open to having a healthier relationship with porn.
Well, I was going to say about that is I think just just the world we live in now, the society with so much social media platforms, And every time I tell people, so everything on social media is a flex. People don't really post a lot of their like, down times. It's always the good times, the good things. And then like it negatively has an effect on some people that, they get like that. Like, oh, I can never pull in someone like you, or I can never, you know what I mean? It's because they see so much, glitz and glamour on these social medias that they just think that, their confidence levels are shot. But I love the fact that you're kind of like empowering people. Like, no, like live your life, be who you want to be, like love yourself. Like you can't love someone else if you can't love who you are,
Okay,
yourself.
yeah, RuPaul. Yeah, are you quoting RuPaul right there? Yes.
But it's crazy because it's like I hear this so often on other episodes and just generally talking to people, and
It's an epidemic, yeah,
yeah,
of
it gets
young
me
men that
fired
feel
up that like,
unloved.
yeah,
It's
like
it's
we need
very
more self love,
interesting.
a lot
Yeah,
more
and
self
that's
love.
one thing that I feel that at least that I can do for, to help people in a direct way is be that light in their day of that point of relief and be like, you know what? Like she just always smiles and giggles and laughs. I just got fired today. So I am just going to go let one out. I'm going to watch one of her crazy VR scenes where she's devil and, I'm just going to let loose. So to me, I feel like I'm making a more direct impact with younger men and maybe like older men too. But I feel like the younger men are reaching out to me more, letting me know that, oh my gosh, like you're really helping me, get through some dark periods in my life, or maybe I'm single right now. So
And that's cool that like you're able to be that light for some people, and it's not just, you're doing this just for the glitz and glamour and the cloud of being in the adult industry, that you're actually making an impact in people's lives. And you're going to be able to make more impacts on people's lives next week. So that's going to be a cool thing. Philadelphia, a lot of fans going to be coming out to cheerleaders in Philadelphia. Um, and you mentioned about people getting like the fleshlight and getting it signed. What was the process like when you're asked to do the fleshlight toy, and take us through the whole journey of doing something like that?
yeah, so actually, I reached out to them. I was going back and forth between a few different companies, and I said, you know what? They're the industry leaders. I love their products. I think it's just phenomenal. So I basically was like, hey, I'd love to be, a model, figure something out with you guys. And they were like, we would love to have you. So, yeah, we went, and their process is like a multiple step process, but there's like an overlay of like this goo that gets all the detail impression of the skin. And then they also do a 3D scan. And then there's also an artist that actually goes in on the sculpt and then goes in and does even more fine detailing and fine tuning and, a lot of photo references. The 3D is great. So I'm pretty sure Kazumi has a video on her Pornhub about the process. I'm pretty sure one of the girls does. But yeah, it was super fun. And now, we've done a couple different collabs with some companies. So with Ricky's Room, we have a limited edition texture on the inside with like a red case. My birthday was this month, so there's a special
Happy
birthday.
belated birthday. I mean, we're
Thank
just a couple,
you.
what was like a
Yes.
week ago, right?
Yes, the 14th, the Valentine's.
What did you do
So
for the
that one,
birthday? Anything special?
oh yeah, we went to the Caesars Spa here in Vegas, and then went to a little painting class, and then to Guy Savoy. I love that restaurant. It's a little fancy, but
That's
I
your
know there's only
birthday.
like
It's
two.
worth it.
Yeah, it's a lot of foie gras and caviar, so I'm like, I don't like that. Do you have something else?
You got any chicken
Um,
fingers, French fries, like
yeah, no, they have an amazing
they got a
mushroom and
kids menu.
artichoke soup. Oh my gosh, if anybody knows Guy Savoy, you guys know his famous soup, mushroom and artichoke soup. There's no butter, no cream, and it is just the most velvety, perfect soup ever. And it's $100 a bowl, so we split it. But yeah, so we have a birthday texture, and that one is like a pink sparkly little gel insert. But the fun one that just came out is a collab with Hentide, where the inside is actually an octopus tentacle-esque texture. And the booty version is this like super industrial, like honeycomb looking seashell conch twisted shape on the inside. So they are freaked out, and they're
I was
super
gonna
cool.
say
So
that's wild. It's like, or what am I about to stick my dick into right now? Like this is wild. Like,
right, yes, and all the fleshlight connoisseurs, they know the difference between
oh, they
them.
do.
And
They definitely do.
yeah. So I encourage, if you don't have one, go online, read some reviews about it. You'd be surprised at how many girls actually are with Fleshlight, and they actually have a gay side called Flesh Jack. So any gay guys out there who are looking for some Flesh Jacks, check it
Hey,
out.
yeah. Now, one of the fans wanted to know when they see you at the club, they were like, "Can we bring gifts? What is something that you enjoy?"
Yes,
Like,
but no food or alcohol, please.
okay, no food or alcohol, but what is something that they could bring? Because they're asking me, "What can I bring her as a gift? Like, what is something she enjoys?"
You know what? I think my favorite thing is signing things for people. I don't necessarily need a gift, but I would love to, sometimes when people don't have anything for me to sign, I'm like, here's a sticker. I want them to take home something, with me on it. So if you could bring like pictures or hats, shirts, I don't know, you want me to sign a magazine, a cup? I'd love to sign something for you. Yeah. Or what I also love to do is I like to record like messages on people's phones for their friends who aren't there.
Oh,
So if
that's
they're,
awesome.
yeah, my friend, he was going to come, but he chickened out. I'm like, give me your phone. And I'm like,
And
so-and-so, look, we're over here having a great time and you're not here.
we heard you were being a little
Wow.
bitch and wouldn't come out, you
We
know. Look at what you're
shame. Yeah,
missing.
I'm like, we shame hard over here. So I like doing more of like videos or stuff like that. But yeah, definitely at the club I'll have some fun prints, safe for work and non-safe for work, that people will be able to choose from. And then I think I'm only going to bring a couple flashlights with me, maybe like 2 or 3, but
They're going to be in high
I don't
demand.
know.
It's going to
We'll
be the first
see.
2 or 3 to get one.
Yeah, they take up a lot of space in my luggage.
Well, that's what when
But
people were saying they wanted to bring gifts for you, and I'm like, all right, she's got to bring all this stuff back home with her. So, if it
you know
is
what?
something, maybe
You know
something
what? Give me
smaller.
a cute little stuffed animal. I love flamingos. I have a
Okay.
whole room of like flamingo stuff. Anything pink. You could buy me like makeup. I love makeup. I'm trying to think of like stuff that I would use.
This one guy,
Makeup,
he was like, "Can I bring her a
jewelry.
Labubu?" And I'm like, hey, "You can bring anything
Sure.
you
Oh my
want. I'm
gosh.
fine.
I
I'm
hope
sure
it's a
she don't
rare
mind."
one.
Yeah. I was like, I'm sure she'll be fine with that. I'm like, I can't speak for her, but I can definitely ask her what, she enjoys. Now, when
Yeah,
you,
I'm sure they're talking about on my TikTok. I got obsessed with these little like toy unboxings on my TikTok.
uh-huh,
So I'm sure that's what they're referencing is all my little
got you.
crazy
Yeah, I mean,
stuffed
like I said,
animal purse charms.
the fan base is like crazy, and I apologize if we didn't get through everybody's questions, but what is something else you can kind of tease for people? Because like everybody, a lot of questions I kept getting a similar question was like, what can we look forward to? What is something that's coming up? I know you follow, if they follow you on socials, they stay updated, but what's something you can kind of promote and plug that people can get excited about?
Well, yeah, so I'll have a lot of different feature dancing shows. I have 3 in San Diego. I have one in like Colorado coming up. Um, let's see, I'll be going to Chicago Exotica. I'll be there. But other than that, as far as like scenes and work wise, I'm not really sure. This is kind of the time when everybody is working on the big projects for summer. So usually around like May, June, you'll see some of like the bigger movies come out. But I do. Oh, well, actually, if there's any video game lovers out there, if you follow me, I'm sure you've heard about this, but I am actually a playable character with my voice on it on a game available on Steam right now, and it's called Mystery Kink. And it's kind of like a little Scooby-Doo gang, but there's 3 other, I'm sure you guys if you're porn connoisseurs, you guys know Jewel Denial,
Mm-hmm.
Queen that she is, Kiki Diera, and Nikki Hudson. They're also available on the game, but it's a fun little mystery game. You go around. We have some adult levels in there, some topless stuff, but it's really fun. We have our Deep in Her Kraken bar. We have Pop Cherry Malt Shop. So we have some really fun levels on the game. So if you guys want to play the demo, it's available now on Steam, and I'm so excited because I saw Steam is coming out with a console. So maybe I'll do some other video games if
You're such a
everybody likes it.
trendsetter. I mean, like, geez, just everything. Always staying busy. I love it.
Yes, and we're actually the guy Neil. He is a phenomenal illustrator, and he's the one who created this game with us. This was his second game. His first one was kind of like a Mike Tyson knockout parody, but that one has Nikki in it, and that one has some topless moments in it too. But he just finished his Kickstarter for his graphic novel, so we're going to be getting into some comic books and graphic novels as well this year. So I am so excited. All the nerds, we're going to nerd out on video games and comic books.
Well, again, we can see you next week, March 6th, 7th. Come out to Cheerleaders in Philadelphia for their Naughty Nighty 30th celebration, and you can go and see her make her Philadelphia debut. Like, definitely come out, show love, show her what Philly is all about. Where can people find you at on socials? Because there's a lot of like fake accounts out there. There's a lot of AI shit out there. Like, where can people make sure they're actually interacting with you?
Well, if you want a one-stop shop, you guys can go to my Linktree. You can, if it's really hard to figure out Linktree, you can Google Linktree Blake Blossom Official. It's the first one that pops up. So all of my links are on there, but if you want to go and follow me on Instagram, it's Give Me a Blake X. And there are probably like 10,000 fake accounts on there. So please make sure that you are not sending any inappropriate photos to these people. It is not me. Do not send money to people. I, Blake Blossom, will never, ever, ever message you on a messaging app outside of the ones on my Linktree. So no Telegram, no Zangy, none of that, guys. None of that. No WhatsApp. Please be so careful because I've hunted down and gotten like 3 different people on video that they were scammers. So please be careful. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, don't fuck around to find out. Blake will hunt you down.
But yeah, if you want to be super up to date on every little scene that drops, you can go onto X. And my username is BLKBLSSM. It's Blake Blossom with no vowels. Nice and skinny. But that's where you can see all the non-safe for work content. And I have to shout out my fan page. They do a phenomenal job of literally following every single release that comes out. So you guys can also find that on my X account as well and follow them.
Well, we appreciate you.
Because I'm also a fan of myself.
Yeah, I mean, we're a lot of fans. There's a lot of fans. Like, when I reached out to you and was like, hey, would you be interested in just talking to us? I mean, I was like, I don't want to be an incel, but I was like, hey, I'm hoping that she's going to, respond. And you were so gracious to take the time to talk to us and were just so chill and easy to work with. And I can't thank you enough and appreciate you for taking the time to talk to us. But before we get out of here, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you want the fans to make sure that they know?
Yeah, so I'll be doing 2 stage shows each night. So after each show, I'll be able to come out. I'll have some of my merch with me. I'll have some of my magazines and some photos with me. So even if you don't bring anything with you, I will have stuff for you that you can buy from me. And I'm not a price gouger. Don't worry. So yeah, bring your stuff. I can't wait to sign it. You guys are going to see me full nude on stage. So, yeah, I haven't really, picked out my song. So if anybody has song requests for me to dance to, please send it to me on Twitter or you can send it here.
Yeah.
I'm still in the process of figuring it out. So.
And they're doing like this whole, like, 'cause it's the 30th anniversary of Cheerleaders in Philadelphia, and it's just like, wow, like to think about it, it's been 30 years there, and like I said, they're taking it all the way back to 1996. So they're going to be doing a lot of like 90s music. So it's going to have like a real 90s vibe feel on March 6th. So anybody out there has like a cool song from the 90s, that they want to see you dance to, want to just hear and just
Yes,
vibe with you to,
let
definitely
me
send those requests
know.
in.
Yes, I can't wait to see you all, and I appreciate everybody who's coming. So please stick around. So if you don't get a chance, I guess maybe ask the staff. I don't know if they want me to say that. Oh my God! But if you're like, "Where's Blake?"
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be able to point you in the right direction. So
Well,
I'm
definitely. We're going
looking
to
forward to
flood the
see
place.
everyone.
We're going to flood the
Yes.
place with the fans. Come on out. Cheerleaders Philadelphia, March 6th and 7th. Again, details at cheerleadersphiladelphia.com. Blake, I appreciate you talking to us, and I can't wait to fucking meet you myself. So everybody coming out, show her that little Philadelphia love. And we just, again, appreciate you for taking time to talk to us.
Of course. I know. I'm already looking forward to my second time coming because I'll love it so much. I'll want to come again.
Well, I
So.
seen you post on X. You're like, I'm a stripper now. So, hey, you know
I
what I mean? Got another
know.
title to
Yay.
the realm there.
I know, right? Porn star first, then stripper. Who cares?
Yeah, we did in reverse order, but who cares? You know.
Right. But yes, thank you so much. I hope you guys love this and make sure to follow, my pages as well as his pages here so you guys can stay up to date on everything Philly.
Perfect. All right, we'll be talking to you real soon.
Great. Thank you. Hi, it's me, Blake Blossom, and you're listening to Mix Masta B on MMB Radio.